Student achievement. That was the focus of the Ministry of Education in 2014. During the year, the ministry did much to meet that target and achieve government's strategic priority for human capital development.
No book lists are to be issued by schools unless approved by the Ministry of Education.
The introduction of that new textbook policy in May set the stage for schools and parents to clamp down on the exorbitant costs of book lists. Other cost-saving measures included extending the life cycle of textbooks delivered to primary and secondary school students. This allowed the ministry to save $88 million on its textbook expenditure for the academic year starting September 2014. In 2014, the ministry initiated or continued several strategies to improve students' performance and advancement. At the early childhood level, a pilot program was started to identify children's readiness to enter primary school or the need for additional support to help them move forward. And at the primary level, the Education Ministry trained and deployed 66 literacy specialists to various schools, supported by $1.4 million in funding from the United States Agency for International Development. 76 math specialists were deployed to 200 primary and secondary schools under the 4-year mathematics intensification program.
We've had to find over $150 million extra this year to get that program underway, which will eventually cost over 3 years more than $1.2 billion.
The Education Minister also announced that, come 2017, a new national primary curriculum would be put in place. Among other things, it will mean the removal of GSAT as the exit exam for primary school students. In 2014, the Education Ministry continued its mission to expand Jamaica's school infrastructure. At the early childhood level, the Marley Hill and Riches Basic Schools were officially opened, while the Apperton and Torrington early childhood institutions were expanded. At the primary level, Red Hills Primary School was expanded. At the secondary level, Cedar Grove Academy, which had been in operation since 2013, was officially opened. And 8 high schools, Jonathan Grant, Central, Holy Trinity, Bridgeport, Edith Dalton James, Ferncourt, Hampton, and Monroe were expanded, while the formerly private Bellear High School was reopened as a government grant-aided public school. At the tertiary level, several Heart Trust and TVET centers were expanded or officially opened. And through an ongoing partnership with Food for the Poor, 50 more school pit latrines were replaced with flush toilets. Last year, the Education Ministry also entered into partnerships with key stakeholders to boost performance in the sector. A partnership with the Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining facilitated the distribution of 16,000 computer tablets to students and teachers in 26 schools as part of the $1.4 billion Tablets in Schools pilot project. Through another partnership with that ministry, assistive aid devices were provided to 7 special needs institutions for students with disabilities. The Jamaica Library Service launched an initiative to provide Jamaicans with increased access to information and communications technology resources in 127 public libraries. Late in the year, the ministry received a trafficking in persons curriculum developed by the Justice Ministry to be taught to students in grades 7 to 9. The Ministry of Finance, through the Heart Trust NTA, gave the Students' Loan Bureau $250 million to help provide loans to tertiary students in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And in response to the chikungunya outbreak, the Education and Health Ministries partnered on a national schools cleanup campaign to eradicate mosquito breeding sites. The Education Ministry also undertook programs outside the classroom in 2014 to secure the well-being and safety of students. Starting with the 2014-2015 academic year, the ministry began providing free breakfast and lunch to students at the early childhood level.
We have allocated $1.05 billion out of our allocation to this budget. And we will use a combination of Nutrition Products Limited produced meals, as well as foods provided at the local school level where that is appropriate and possible.
To secure the safety of school populations, a special behavior management and modification program was introduced to some institutions. The school-wide Positive Behavior Intervention and Support Program was in response to a JCF study which specified 56 schools that had the highest percentage of incarcerated past students.
I'm pleased to say that a coordinating committee has been identified, which will include representatives of the Association of Guidance Counselors, Deans of Discipline, and School Safety, and will also have a wide ministerial interministerial complement. An eminent psychiatrist has been asked to chair it.
And in September, the ministry began implementation of the security and safety policy guidelines from the National Safe School Policy in 595 primary schools. The Education Ministry also took steps last year to address the welfare of teachers. Subsidy support to early childhood practitioners, most of whom are privately employed, was increased by 15%. A teacher's job match web portal was established to link teachers seeking jobs with potential employers locally and overseas. And 59 teachers were recruited for employment in China. It was another busy year in 2014 for the Ministry of Education. The goal was achieving government's strategic priority of human capital development.
We are trying to do more with what we have to advance student achievement.